Oh, don't turn the light on. There's freaking coyotes out here. Now we're just gonna get reflections. Damn it, iPhone. Okay, let's try it without the light. They're just dogs, right? There he is. Look at those big ears. That's how you can tell that ain't no dog. It's the first time I've ever seen them in this parking lot here. There were two a minute ago. Maybe I'm gonna get attacked. Seems that they're up in the bush here, which isn't much. That just goes up to some power plant or water treatment facility. I'm not sure what, but if things get any worse, we'll set the alarm off on the 540. That should scare them off. All right, what do we got? That clock, uh-oh, it's dead. My Rolex broke. That's gonna be an expensive service. I need a AA battery that'll be all of about $3. Been editing vlogs, been doing emails, been writing estimates. We sold a bunch of service today. You know, cars come in for a manual conversion and they say, hey, if you see anything else, let me know. But I don't think there'll be anything. The car's pretty nice. It's like, okay, there's gonna be something else. Where's the light? Of course there's gonna be something else. It's an old car with a lot of miles on it. So lo and behold, the black E60 M5 that's currently out back in for the conversion. Look what I'm dealing with here. I'm all screwed up. Pulling these cables through here. Needs front control arms ×4, front struts, front stabilizer links, rear upper control arms ×4, front and rear brake pads, rotors, sensors, and hardware. So he approved all that. Parts are on order. We should start to see some of those tomorrow. This is, without a doubt, one of the nicest E39 M5s that we service here. This is an Orange County car, ultra low mileage, somewhere around 50,000. I think it's a 2002 in carbon black with a full leather sport, or luxury, excuse me, interior. And it's here for some basic maintenance, just a fluid change. That's right, he put different trim in this since I've seen it. I think he actually had the dealer put this in, so we'll have to figure out what they broke and fix that. It's one of those Euro-only kind of high-gloss plastic deals. He didn't like the wood that was in here. This set appears to be in immaculate condition, though, so that's cool. And it's got the TPMS, or the RDC button cut out. 335 is still here, per customer request. We've been driving that. My dad was driving that for a couple days, and it doesn't seem to have any issues. I think it was just an anomaly, and a quick code clear seems to have taken care of that. We've got this up here. This is a 236 or 238,000 mile 02 M5 here for some basic service. I got to remember what the heck we're doing now. It was a trans fluid change, diff fluid change, which turned into an AC compressor, which now is morphing into AC belt tensioner pulley, some driveline work, diff reseal, just a bunch of, well, kind of deferred maintenance on a high mileage car. So that will be starting off tomorrow once the customer makes his final round of approvals. We've got the huge restoration project 540 back in here. Figured out why it wouldn't start. I think I mentioned that yesterday. Today it's timed properly and put back together and resealed. So we're going to let those gasket makers and whatnot cure overnight, and then we'll be able to crank it up tomorrow. And I fully expect it to start and run now. Then we had a customer in here a couple weeks ago. On his driver's door panel, some leather was loose. So we glued it back in place per his request. And to do that, we needed to shove some towels in there to kind of hold it in place as the glue dried. So we used painter's tape, but some of the painter's tape made contact with the leather interior armrest on the driver's door panel. And unfortunately, when the tape came off, it took some of the clear coat off the leather. So the leather specialists came out today and repaired that. It's a beautiful job. It looks pretty much perfect. Customers satisfied. That was on our dime, of course. But as the leather technicians arrived, the customer wasn't here yet. So I'm like, well, I don't want to pay him to just sit here. So let's give him a little project. Never thought I'd really bother with this interior, seeing that it was kind of tired. But I turned him loose on this door, the front seat, a couple areas in the center console, and one small area in the rear seat. Maybe I'll put some videos, a little before after on this. But ever since I tried Swiss Vax leather, not the conditioner, the cleaner, it took all the clear off right here. So it was like a 6-inch area from there back to here, which is really rough and textured looking, kind of like driveway cement, not the high polished cement. So I said, hey, what can you do about that? He's like, I could make it disappear. So I said, go for it. And holy shit, he did it. Look at this. This looks damn good. It doesn't feel like new. It's a little bit harder to the touch, and some of the stitching is now under some dye, but God, that is a 90% repair or maybe more for 10% of the cost of a new panel. Then it's conveniently hidden by the seat belt as it rests here, but when you pull that away, it looked like shit. And when people would say, wow, your car's perfect, it doesn't need anything, I'm like, no, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. Look at this. And this was always the fly in the ointment, but not anymore. My goodness, it looks pretty much perfect. The problem, of course, with this leather repair, re-dyeing, and re-clear coating is that it's not as durable. It's not going to look like that forever. And particularly if you wear jeans a lot, that's really bad on leather. And I used to wear jeans when I drove this car all the time. This is okay, you know, not new, a little worn, a little wrinkled, but gone are the nasty marks. Then up front, the first time I replaced this center console tray here, I don't know if I pulled it up or I didn't like push the sides of the console here out of the way a little bit, but it scraped all the dye off of this leather here for a couple millimeters high, and then the whole distance from here to here, so like 2 inches. And I never really let it bother me, but he's looking at that like, oh, you want that to disappear? I said, sure. Guy's a magician. Look at that. Looks perfect. Then 2 things back here I've been looking at for literally 14 years that I never thought I would proceed with repairing. But right here, and this pre-existed my ownership of the car. I don't know what happened, but this was probably opened, and it doesn't go down and touch that. So I don't know what happened, but see this little imperfection right there? I didn't even have him bother with that. But then right here, there was a spot with no dye. It was just kind of light gray. Gone. And lastly, this one was my own fault. Way back in probably late summer of 2010, 14 years ago, the year I got this car, I was fixing something back here. I don't remember what, probably the broken cup holders. And for whatever reason, I found it appropriate to use some super glue. So I put the super glue in there. I left, didn't think about it. I evidently used too much. It dripped out. It dripped down the leather here and just into the carpeting, which you can kind of still see. I used a knife, I scraped it off, but there was always kind of a white mark where that Loctite super glue ran down the leather. Not anymore. That's going to be it for Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll wrap up the week. I look forward to a weekend. It just feels like we've been so active and busy and burning the candle at both ends. And Kenan kind of called it out today. You know, he got home with us Monday night, and then he had his friend from Germany here for a couple days, and he just said, you know what? I am socially exhausted. A wedding, a rehearsal dinner, being in Ohio, seeing your entire family, all of those people, flying back, and then entertaining a friend from Germany who hasn't been here in decades. My goodness, that's a lot. So I think Kenan needs a nice, quiet, slow sleep-in day, and maybe a couple days without a busy social calendar. All right, wish me luck with the Coyotes. I'm going home, in and out night. Talk tomorrow, Friday.